In the early hours of May 11, 2012, a small plane lands in a field outside a remote village in Honduras. A group gathers around the plane and begins unloading 450 kilograms of cocaine that would be worth about $10 million in the U.S. Elite U.S. drug enforcement agents are about to step in and try to seize the shipment, but not everything goes as planned. What you're about to see is a drug raid that turned deadly. This infrared footage was captured from high above by a P-3 surveillance plane operated by the Department of Homeland Security. I filed a Freedom of Information Act request for the video. It took about 5 years and a federal lawsuit before the DEA finally released it in August 2017. At this point, we see the truck with the cocaine driving through a village to a river where there are several boats. About 20 individuals offload the bundles into one of the boats. Meanwhile, U.S. helicopters fly to the scene. As they approach, most of the drug runners scatter. But a few stay behind to move the drug-filled boat away from the village. About 10 minutes later, a U.S. helicopter descends, carrying special DEA paramilitary units and Honduran police officers. The remaining traffickers flee the scene. After deploying the agents, the helicopter uses the air from its blades to push the abandoned boat to shore. About 15 minutes later, a DEA agent and 2 Honduran officers commandeer the boat with the drugs on it. Their goal is to pilot the boat back to the village to transfer the cocaine into the helicopters. One agent tries to start the engine, but it stalls, and the boat begins drifting. Shortly after, a second boat appears. It's a water taxi, but U.S. agents and the Honduran policemen don't know this. 16 people are on board. The water taxi swerves directly at the drug agents. The pilot on the water taxi would later say he was terrified by the helicopters and did not intend to steer towards the agent's boat. The DEA agent and the Honduran officers thought they were under attack. The 2 boats collide. There is gunfire. This critical sequence of events has become the subject of a highly contentious dispute. 4 people on the passenger boat were killed, including 2 women and a 14-year-old boy. 3 more were gravely injured. So what did happen? The DEA and State Department said there had been a crossfire between the law enforcement agents and what they called drug traffickers. But the video shows there is no evidence of gunfire coming from the passenger boat. We hired a forensic expert to analyze this video, and they found that there was one flash from the passenger boat that was possibly consistent with a gunshot, which we can see here. However, they also said it could have been caused by any number of things, including a bullet hitting the engine of the passenger boat. That was the same finding that an analyst hired by the State Department made when they were looking at the video, that one flash from the passenger boat shows a bullet hitting the engine. The video clearly shows gunfire from the DEA agent's boat. The figures continue to fire, even after some passengers have leapt or fallen into the water. In all, the passenger boat was hit by 19 bullets, including from helicopter machine gun fire after the collision. The drug agent's boat was not hit by a single bullet. This video appears to show a one-sided shooting, not a crossfire, as the DEA contended. Law enforcement agents mistakenly fired on a boat full of civilians, killing 4. The conclusion that the shooting was one-sided is now backed up by an official report by 2 inspectors general. But the DEA and State Department stuck by the story of a crossfire for more than 5 years. They told Congress that the proof was in this video, a video that they never wanted you to see.
Secret video released showing DEA agents execute 2 women, a child, and a man. After keeping a video secret for 5 years, the world is now finally seeing how the DEA can kill innocent people and get away with it. By Matt Agarist, October 24, 2017. In the federal government's relentless and futile pursuit to control what Americans can and cannot put into their own bodies, all too often, innocent people become the victims of state-sponsored violence. Since its inception during the Nixon years, the drug war has not only failed at its task but it served to create a massive opioid epidemic and eviscerated rights, all while fostering corruption and violence within the government. At the head of this violent and corrupt beast is the government office known as the Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA. A scathing new report out of ProPublica has just shined some light on the DEA's dark and violent history. This new evidence, accompanied with a video, shows that for the past 5 years, the DEA has been lying about an incident that resulted in them killing 4 innocent civilians, including 2 women and a child. The incident happened in Honduras during an operation carried out under the cover of darkness in one of many futile attempts to stop people from selling arbitrary substances. According to the report from ProPublica. Advertisement. In the DEA's view, the dead 1 man, 2 women, and a 14-year-old boy were among those on a boat that shot at a canoe carrying a joint DEA Honduran anti-drug team. The DEA said it had evidence in the form of night vision video taken from a surveillance plane showing an exchange of gunfire between the 2 vessels after the larger boat collided with the canoe carrying the agents. Now, for the first time, the 3-hour video has been released to the public. It strongly suggests that the DEA's account of crossfire in the May 2012 mission was not accurate. The release of the video, under a Freedom of Information Act request, follows a scathing report published by the Inspectors General of the Departments of Justice and State earlier this year that challenged the DEA's version of events. ProPublica, along with the New York Times, hired a forensic expert to analyze said video. According to the expert, Bruce Koenig, the video shows numerous flashes originating from the DEA and not the family who was murdered. Read more. Dallas Black Panthers are responding to police brutality, with armed neighborhood patrols. Mr. Koenig, who formerly was the supervisor of the F.B.I.S forensic audio/video group, examined the video frame by frame and concluded that only 1 flash originates from the passenger boat, according to the report. However, it was determined that this single flash could have been caused by a gunshot to the motor of the victim's boat. Indeed, experts later found a bullet hole in the motor. Just prior to the release of this video, in a likely attempt to quell backlash beforehand, the DEA disbanded the agency's program that carried out this attack in Honduras. The operation was named the Foreign Deployed Advisory Support Teams, or FAST, and it provided military-style training to law enforcement officers in other countries to counter drug traffickers. According to ProPublica, the Inspectors General report, which found no evidence to support the DEA's account that its agents were fired upon, has also drawn attention from lawmakers. A bipartisan group of 4 senators asserted that the DEA and State Department repeatedly and knowingly misled members of Congress and congressional staff. The DEA convinced themselves of a false version of events due to arrogance, false assumptions, and ignorance, said Tim Reeser, an aide to Senator Patrick Leahy and one of the staff members who has spent years delving into the shooting. They rushed to judgment and then stuck to their story. For over 5 years, the DEA kept this video secret despite claiming that it exonerated the officers in the killing of the MAND, 2 women and 1 child. Peter Quilter, a former staff member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee who attended some of the initial briefings, explained the DEA's deception from the beginning. It was very difficult to second-guess them, he said, adding, they very simply misled the Congress. The video did not back up their story of what happened. Read more. Cop busted on dashcam showing his penis, arrested for raping a boy in Burger King bathroom. ProPublica detailed the events of the video, which sounds like a scene straight out of Hollywood. In the video, the cocaine-filled pickup truck can be seen driving through the village to a landing on the twisting Patuca River. There the traffickers offload the drugs into a motorized canoe. 4 government helicopters appear and chaos erupts. The traffickers quickly abandon their task. One of them pushes the drug-laden canoe into the middle of the river and flees into the jungle with the others. 3 members of the anti-drug team, 2 Honduran police and 1 DEA agent ignore the men and pursue the canoe downstream. The 3 men manage to climb on board. The DEA agent, sitting in the back, begins to pilot it back toward the landing. But the motor stalls and the canoe starts to drift downstream. The DEA agent can be seen vainly jerking the starter rope to try to restart the engine. As he does this, a second boat appears in the frame. It seems to be maneuvering directly toward the drifting canoe carrying the drugs. This second boat would turn out to be a water taxi, carrying a dozen passengers and cargo upriver to Ahuas. The passengers and pilot on the civilian boat would later say they were terrified by the helicopters and did not intend to steer toward the canoe containing the law enforcement agents. For their part, the drug agents assumed the second boat was trying to recover the drugs. It remains unclear why the civilian craft steered directly into the boat with the agents, but the boats collided. The video clearly shows gunfire from the anti-drug agents. As passengers leap into the water, the anti-drug team continues to fire at them. An 8-second burst of machine gun fire comes from one of the helicopters. The inspector's general report said a DEA agent ordered a Honduran door gunner to fire. The footage cuts away for a moment, and the edges of the video are blocked by DEA redactions, obscuring the surveillance plane's altitude and other technical intelligence gathering data the agency deemed sensitive. The DEA was unable to show that anyone in the boat had been armed, as no bullets struck the agents, the helicopters, or their canoe. In total, 3 people were injured and 4 were killed. Read more. Ferguson Oath Keeper dispels rumors of racism, condemns cops in epic rant. Below is a video illustrating how the government can quite literally get away with murder and justify it by claiming to keep you safe from substances they deem illegal. ProPublica reached out to one of the victims of the shooting who still has no idea why the DEA shot at them. Hilda Lezama, who operated the boat with her husband, says she is no longer able to work as both of her legs suffered debilitating bullet wounds. "I can't afford to support my daughters," she said. "We still don't know why this happened."
Need a car? Don't forget to stop by carmarshal.com, where you can scout through over 100,000 new and used car vehicles. Take a look around. Get you a new affordable car. carmarshal.com.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I found that I had to make a change this ending on my videos, letting you know about the channel and fair use laws, you know, how we can report on other people's reporting and how it's good, how it's bad, etc. But you guys can look it up yourself. It is legal. It's in there. But like I've told you before, that I've been cut off from making money on YouTube for 4 years. It's really weird, bizarre, but they cut the money off, but they said you can keep the channel, and now YouTube makes all the money. And if you get bored, plug it into Social Blade website, and you'll see that they are making a huge amount off the site. Right now it's at 63 million views, 53,000 subscribers, almost 3 million views a month. You know, trying to wake people up, and I make nothing. In fact, I got a customer that's ex-congressman. He said if I could ever find a lawyer, sue YouTube on it. But because this is nuts. 4 hours a day, and to save America. You know, but at the same time, it's worth it. Look at what our founding fathers did. They died for this country. So, but getting back to the money part, this is why I'm redoing the video. Is my dream of everyone giving $1, and it's going to be $53,000 a year, or if they did Patreon, which you know, can be monthly. That is not working. That'd be great if it did. Nothing is perfect. And I appreciate the people that do donate, you know, what they can on PayPal. And there again, I'm letting you guys know that is not much. Is, you know, monthly is, oh my god. So anyways, yes, you cannot live on it. It's very, very, very low amount. But the dollar things, I do appreciate that. But when I first said everybody give $1, that's not working. I'm just calling. I'm just letting you guys know it's, yeah, that dream, everybody gives $1, 53,000 subscribers, it's not working. So, yes, if you can give more than that, you know, I appreciate it. Like I said, you know, I'm in a unique situation where, you know, we're already debt free, and I'm not rich, but with the little business that we have, I am able to do what I am able to do 45 hours a day, you know, letting you guys know what's going on. In 4 years, I've did the whole thing myself, 12,000 videos on there. I literally get emails where people are like, holy crap, I never knew it was this bad. And it is this bad, and it's getting worse every day because we have the internet, we have cell phones, we have cameras everywhere now, and it's just disgusting what's going on. And then, as you guys know, too, we got Trump, we got Jeff Sessions doing a war on drugs, and now he wants to go after the forfeiture laws again. It's just unfreaking real. So, if you can give more than that dream of everybody giving $1, yeah, that old video, that's not working. They're not, they're just not. So, anyways, if you can give more than that dream is not working. Hardly anybody is giving. There you go. So that's why I'm remaking the video. If you can give more than that would be great. And there again, like I said, the Patreon's there. There is some people on there that are starting to give, but there again, it's very, very low. And like I said, I don't want to get rich off of that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because, you know, it's still so stinking corrupt. It's not even funny. My court case that I'm going to be paying out of my pocket myself with Charlotte County's coming up. They illegally looked me up and then posted all my information on LEOAFFAIRS website. They basically doxed me, however you want to say that. I forget what the word is, and they outed me, man. And that information on that site went out to 500 sheriffs, deputies, people that work at the jail, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, it is very, very scary, but we're going to do a federal case, 1983 case, violating freedom of speech. We have 17 cameras in the house now. We got 2 cameras in the car. I always carry a camera plus a cell phone. A lot of people are highly recommending I get a vest now. If I could, if the wife would let me, I would run for sheriff. We are trying to push the thing nationwide right now. Where just to mix it up and to get the topics out there is register to run for sheriff, NPA, no party affiliation, as a write-in, and that is completely free, and you can participate in the elections. And there's a lot of stuff. We got a guy, James McLinnis in Pinellas County, Tampa, who almost won. He experienced the corruption himself. The story is unbelievable. Look him up. It's mind-blowing what they did. It pissed him off. He is very, very smart. He has way more money than I did. He ran for sheriff at the last 3 months last year in 2016 and almost won. He got all of the black vote. And the reason why he did that is because he ran on, I will not bust, we're in Florida, I will not bust anybody for weed anymore unless it's an ungodly huge amount, like pounds. And then he also ran on no more victimless crimes, no more of this freaking road pirate bull crap. And then he was going to cut the budget by 30%. And when you think about that, you can. If you stop the road pirates, you can get rid of a bunch of people. Gone. So, the wife has been saying, yes, I can, yes, I can't. So I don't know. We're trying to find somebody that can do it because I am busy doing this anyways. But, so I'm making a video, like I said, that $1 a month from everybody, you know, for 53,000 subscribers, that is not working. I'm just letting you guys know. Absolutely give way more than $1 a month. If you can, I appreciate anything. By the way, remember, too, when you give that, PayPal takes like freaking 15 to 20%, so it's even worse than that. But, and there again, like I'm letting you guys know, it's way, what I get is very, very low. Appreciate it. But it is very, very low. Can't live on it. I'm just, you know, I'm working, and that's what I'm working on. And that court case is going to cost a buttload of money. That's federal court. Just the filing fees and the depositions that we're going to be doing with this corrupt cop. So there's another reason to give. We are going to be doing a deposition with this very corrupt. He was in a drug squad. He is a bad guy. He's on steroids. We heard steroids are rampant here. That's why their attitude is so bad. And we are going to get him on video, and it will be on YouTube. So that case alone is $5,000 just to bring it to court, and that's my money out of my pocket. So there's another reason to give, and give way more than $1 if you can. So keep that in mind. This is the new video, and I see, God, I talk a lot. It's already 7 minutes, but had to make it just to let you know the $1 a month from Remedy is not working. They're not doing it. So if you can give more than that, please. So thanks. Keep it up. Share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, send me your videos on corruption, and I'll post it.